believe that the map picks are actually set in stone. So it should be Molten Falls first, Awoken second, and then if it comes to it, Blood Covenant. Remember, this is not the regular Quake Pro League format. There are 3 maps here, but this is by all means a best of 3. If it's a 2-0, that's it. The series is going to be done. And unlike last year's Lucca, which was a double elimination style bracket, this one is going back to single elimination. Whoever loses here is just straight up out of the tournament.
I've got an important word.
Oh God.
I've got an important word. It's the P word. Because I'm going to ask it. Predictions. I want your predictions.
Predictions, I definitely think this, by all accounts, should really be a 2-0 to Xron. I think if he colossally messes up, or again, if his confidence kills his ability to aim, which has unfortunately happened, especially in the later stages of QPL's weeklies, Effortless has a chance. But if Xron is playing on top of his game, this should be a 2-0 as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. I think regardless of what happens, regardless of, you know, player shape, blah, 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 I'm expecting a 2-0 still. But I think it's going to be quite close, 2-0. I think one of the maps is going to be pretty close. And I think the other one's going to be sort of middling, you know, like a 4-5 frag differential. It's going to be Molten to begin with. I think this is going to be the close one.
Well, thank you for sticking with us so far. Apologies for the delay, but we are ready to go. Don't worry, that was not proper. That's not a real one. This is the real one. That suicide meant nothing. We just cut a bit early, that's all. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Here we go, though. Xron going in with the Galena, and then Effortless going in with the slash pick, but something we fully expected that he'd go all guns blazing first.
Oh. So he's going to get himself the weapons early on, no problem. I think he was hoping that Effortless would somehow slide into him, into the gauntlet. Maybe I'm just looking at that a bit wrong. There's a lot of sliding to do. Just get your railgun out. If he comes around the corner, you can get that damage out.
Well, we know that Galena's definitely a champion that has the ability to super fortify on a map like this. Like, it's such a wide map that the chance of you having multiple totems just drop down. Hard to take them all down at once, but that first fight's going to break out. But not before. The health has collected both sides, disengage. Thankfully, there's plenty of small pickups to take. Oh, ho, ho.
Whoa.
Xron picked up that armor just in the nick of time, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty damn close for a moment. Still vulnerable for a second. Has got that totem right beside him. We're going to push Effortless out of there. It is the ring out. In fact, he went all the way out of the map. That LG was savage. I think a bit of sliding maybe contributed to it. There's going to be the mega health up in a moment. I'm feeling good.
But I mean, how you lose a frag like that, that's the kind of thing that can normally sort of send you into a situation where it's like, I feel a certain way about that. But shake it off. This is Molten Falls, ring outs. I mean, it's something you grow to accept. Just not necessarily in that part of the map.
Not on Rafa's Edge, that's for sure.
Don't go there.
I will always go there. I will always be there to remind Shane about his moment on Molten.
Well, he's here this week, so
that's true. I'll make sure I remind him in person.
What if that happens again? Anyway, that's a story for another time.
Absolutely.
Xron maintaining a really lovely level of control. Obviously, looking at the timers, there's a really nice delay in between the two. Mega and Heavy, so if Xron, and this is actually what you kind of have to be a little bit nervous about, Galena with at least one tome up at any given moment, and obviously Xron managing the cooldowns intelligently too. The moment Galena's in control and then she gets the totems on deck, she's very scary. Ooh. However, Effortless hitting some wonderful rockets, and the rail to finish is going to make it 1-1. Xron taking way more damage than maybe he was expecting.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting Effortless to be that ready with the rail shot. And also, Xron's rockets, it looked like he could have been doing a lot more damage. Wasn't quite there with them. Effortless is looking quite good. Wow. Another direct, and that is going to be a follow-up, putting Effortless into the lead.
And going straight in with the jump pad. That's the kind of jump pad where maybe Xron's thinking, you madman, that he would actually double back and chase up the jump pad when he was coming around the corner. But it did line him up perfectly. Effortless, pretty weak, thankfully. This is Slash we're talking about. She can get in and out faster than anyone. The great escape again. I do not know how Effortless managed to do that. That was smart play from him. The rail follow-up. Effortless is going to be able to secure the mega health now. Big plays from Effortless. Xron going in for the chase because he was so confident he could deliver the finishing blow there, but Effortless ready. The defensive LG, the combo into rail. Speaking of rail, here comes another one. Doesn't hit the next shot, but Xron, he's railable with this health, has to disengage, has to get some armor. Uh-oh. Oh, the miss.
Missed rails, bit of a weapon switch error. Xron's going to capitalize on this and bring it a frag closer to tying things up. There will be the Mega Health in a second. Effortless does drop down. Might not get the Mega Health, but a missed rail allows Effortless to survive and maybe start to pick up the pace again as this heavy is soon to spawn.
Significant amount of time though. Enough time for Effortless to perhaps get the drop. Xron has to get in and out with his life. Risky stuff though. Effortless taking the rail and a second one. Xron ties the knot, 3-3. Almost died for that one too. It's good he hit that second rail. That would have been a death sentence otherwise.
His rail's actually not looking bad at all. I think maybe some shakiness on the rockets, but otherwise rail, a big thumbs up. That's going to be Mega gone. Effortless maybe trying to fake something out. Still takes the rail shot, despite the speed that he had. That means that Xron will definitely get himself onto this heavy armor.
It's going to be a bit weird trying to sit around near heavy without rockets, but thankfully Effortless is not interested in taking that fight at all. Xron, plenty of stack to work with. Still needs to get some rockets though. Oh, nice, good positioning. Effortless ready. However, just look at that stack. Needs to disengage once more and get some armor so he's no longer railable. If Xron's hitting rails for days at the moment and you have no armor, then pray.
Yeah, Xron hasn't had rockets in a while, so hopefully for him he doesn't make that switch a little later on, but he's looking comfortable. There's going to be the ammo crate for him. One of two on the map. And they're expecting Effortless to jump up the stairs, won't land the shot, but's got the information and knows that this heavy is just going to be a formality to pick up. Now the push in with the lightning gun. Knows he's down at the heavy. Heavy machine gun, that is.
It's the benefit of picking Slash on a map like this. The second you miss a shot, normally you kind of have to just close your eyes as you run away and hope that they miss the shot. Slash doesn't really have that much problem on certain parts of the map where she can just kind of slide, go around a corner, and before you know it, she's out. And it doesn't matter that she's missed at all because she's totally safe. Speaking of which, once more Effortless really trying to keep Xron on the edge of a string. No interest right now of engaging into a fight. Problem is he's giving up control. Heavy's going to spawn as well, of which, of course, Xron picks it up. But that does mean that with the totem in hand, as well as the natural stack, Xron's in a wonderful position here.
Yeah, Xron's trying to find some information on Effortless. He hears the bounce pad, which means he can recalibrate his movement. Has to switch away from that rail for a second. Some good, aggressive damage from Effortless, but he has not got the health and armor to deal with it. Not really worth it for him in the end, as Xron's able to pick up a little bit of a freebie and now recycle these major items as they come up on this rotation.
We're now in that awkward position, though, where there's, under 4 minutes left to go. Effortless has to be very careful with how he chooses these fights, but fights must be taken if you're going to be behind. Problem is, he's giving up control to do it. That's both wasting time on his end to make something happen, and he's allowing Xron to be consistently outstacking him. When a fight breaks out, he hasn't got anything to take it with. That's pretty much exactly what we saw last time. But now, with Xron maintaining the stack, Effortless, I feel like he's going to have to make some kind of play on these items, but every time he has a chance to hit one of these rails, not only is he missing the shot, Xron isn't. So it's kind of like you have to disengage again, waste more time. Xron just runs around doing his thing, and before you know it, it's going to be 1 minute and you have to make something happen with no stack.
Yeah, Xron has been talking about this lack of confidence with his aim, but you wouldn't say he was lacking any confidence in it because he's been hitting rails reliably. His health and armor so much better, looking to get that tight angle up at the top. We see some good damage from Effortless. This might be enough for him to feel like he can challenge now on this heavy armor. Is he going to bite the bullet and do it? He backs away, takes some totem damage, which is neither here nor there. And he hits the light armor straight away after. We've got a jump in from Xron. He's actually going to go through the plasma field. That is brave from the Ukrainian, but it does result in him getting another kill, putting it 5-3.
Detonating also would have required Effortless to kind of have like that god level read of, I think you're going to chase at this exact moment and then I'm going to detonate. Whereas Effortless, I think his objective was just trying to run away as fast as possible. It is going to allow Xron to play the bold play and chase it, making it 5-3 at this stage. And I can't remember the last time Effortless had anything that resembled a major pickup. I feel like everything is going in the favor of Xron. The delay was put in early on as well. Trying to go for Plasma Trail. He's reaching a dangerous point where maybe Effortless needs to start making magic happen. Granted, this is Slash. If he's able to pick up at least one frag and live to tell the tale, maybe her natural movement can chase down a spawn if he's got the stack.
This is the turning point at the moment. Effortless got himself on the Mega Health. We've got Heavy and 5. He needs to get this clear control, but he walks into so much damage. He tries to take a shortcut and get in control first and ends up eating that damage. Nails into the rocket. Oh, we got like a brick head shake just then from Xron. It's like, no, 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 don't walk into this.
Wise man once said, don't ever try that. A minute and a half left. And at this stage, Xron just needs to keep business as usual. Effortless forced to back out again.
Xron is having so much fun at the moment. He's like laughing.
But I feel like that's always Xron's demeanor, isn't it? Like, no, there are very few people in the world that at any point enjoy just playing Quake Champions as much as Xron did.
Yeah,
any game mode, any champion, doesn't matter what it is, he'll just play
has a
constantly.
blast. Life is fun for him.
But now at this stage, 1 minute, and Effortless with a mammoth task of 4 frags just to tie things up. When Xron's already facing the amount of momentum he is, I don't know if this is too much of an ask here, Zoot. Maybe too little too late at this stage. Oh, the juggle!
Not too bad. Looking for the rail exit. Is he going to try and clutch something? He will. It's now 8-3. Xron with no fear. I mean, just to break down Effortless's play a bit, he did a great job being defensive and reducing the amount of frags that Xron was getting. But here's huge. When he had that chance to get in control, he tried to play it too quickly. He took step 1 and 2. He didn't take step 3 and immediately jumped to 4. And I think he tripped over himself a little bit. Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
We've seen a few ring outs today, actually, from Molten.
But this is kind of something that I do fear a little bit. We describe Effortless as having this high-paced game plan, right? I kind of think sometimes it goes against him, you know? And sometimes when this happens, Effortless is too quick to go around a corner. He's too quick to not check this or check that because his champions go so fast. It's almost like you just need to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we saw some great movement from Effortless, but it was just a little passive, for what I like. Some moments where he did aggress at the right times on the item, and his aim was really not bad at all, but it was that control play, and I think Xron had too much time in control where he didn't have too much to worry about. Like this right at the beginning was fantastic from Effortless, but he couldn't string it together for long enough. And this too, like what a kill that was.
And then there were certain moments with the double back too. Xron just making those good calls. The kind of stuff that maybe you would think out and go, I can't believe he did that, but here we are. It was, as you can see in the replay though, it was a very, very close game for about half of it. And then the moment it started to escape, Xron kind of just ran away with it, didn't he?
This here, there was such a chance to use the plasma trail. But the thing is, if you use it, you're trying to do damage, which you hope's going to hit, but you're not going to get that extra bonus speed anymore. So it's swings and roundabouts. What do I want to go for? that was just dirty as well.
But I feel like as well, some of those frags, even like quite a few of those moments, there were rails that actually came off before Xron got the shot. They just didn't hit. Even that replay where he went through the plasma trail, there was a rail coming out. It just, you know, it missed before he delivered the final blow, but as we can see here,
this is the control game from it. So many heavies taken. The mega, there's probably going to be maybe 8, 9 megas. For
we spent about 90% of that map spectating Xron, and he pretty much just permanently lived in the heavy area. And the danger is also there's champions to factor into that. When Galena is in that much control. In someone like Xron, who is a naturally very calculated tactician, right? That's the way he approaches a lot of these champions. He'll find the optimal locations, he'll use turrets at the right time, totems at the right time, etc., etc. The moment she's in control and then she gets a totem, especially if most of those fights, Xron didn't need to drop it mid-fight. He could just get a frag and then drop it afterwards to replenish, and then that's it, Effortless. There's not even a backup plan of, okay, well, at least I weakened him a lot. Like, that just doesn't exist in his situation, so.
No, exactly. That game was really, really hard for him. Let's talk about the next one, as we are going to be moving over to Awoken now. This is going to be Sorlag for Effortless. It's going to be a Ranger for Xron, I believe. I think the way that Xron won there against Effortless's arguably best champion, I feel like this is going to be something positive for Xron, but we're going to have to wait and see. The Sorlag, very strong on this map. Effortless has definitely got his chances here.
There's always the possibility for new map, new me, and Awoken plays drastically different to Molten. And now the Ranger, granted, the Ranger, those dire orb plays, they require a confident player to pull through to the end. And Xron can't say he looks too not confident so far. You could have fooled me. And there's the immediate engage. That rail's going to connect. Xron temporarily weaker. There is going to be the matter of the different stacks thanks to heavy versus medium. But now,
get out there, just don't want to get shown into that last rail angle. There's a light armor, almost butts heads with Xron down in the nail water. And he's actually going to go in. He's got the orb out, done a lot of damage. He misses one of the shotgun blasts and somehow Effortless clutches out. One frag for him, but he is so weak. If Xron can chase him down, he'll surely be able to tie it up.
With the dire orb play, it's so all or nothing. You know, in that situation, you dedicate to the dire orb, you lose your escape plan. Xron fortifying near Mega, he's going to get the frag and a reward for Mega, plus full control. The Mega and Heavy's going to get collected almost at the same time here. Effortless, very good that he didn't jump down there because he would have been in a terrible position. That said, only 49 cells remain for Xron's LG, which isn't going to be enough to take out that stack or even come close to it. All right, ammo, that's what he needs. Xron repositioning thanks to it, but misses the SSG again. Finally lands the killing shot. I was a bit worried that maybe the SSG is not his friend this time round.
Yeah, he seems surprised to have missed one of those shots. Effortless was hanging in that sort of awkward position on the lip. And small engagement here near the rockets. We've got long-range shotgun for a second. Hitting the rails. Effortless going to try and back out here. There is going to be the heavy up. He tries to make a pretty ambitious jump across.
Yeah, I fear that play was a little bit too obvious for Xron. If you're looking for that shot, Effortless isn't really in a position where he's able to build up much speed from that angle, so hitting a rail would have been pretty easy. And the fact that Sorlag is one of the larger champions in the game. Xron steals away the Mega, but it does cost him a frag for it. And now he's only going to be one in the lead. Effortless has a decent amount of stack, has the Holy Trinity as well, so we're ready to go. Catches a one full amount of LG, but needs to finish it. Teleports to the orb, an all or nothing play with the rail. Effortless is going to get the shot that he needs, but Xron being a little bit too aggressive, I fear.
I mean, it was aggressive, but the execution on that rail shot was fantastic.
I can't believe
it was like there was this double missile from Xron, and it was just off target for him. There's the Mega Help. He takes it at a good time, and he is going to be able to persevere, pick up a kill to make it 4-3. Then the health bubble's been taken. Is like, dude, I'm taking so much damage from this acid spit. Something help me. There's the rocket. Effortless has all the information from the damage.
Yep.
Converts.
It wasn't just the damage being dealt, it's the fact that damage numbers will appear through the map for the Sorlag player until they collect health. So the fact that health bubble was taken out prior, that's ultimately what got Xron killed, because he may as well have just been a walking radar at that point.
Yeah.
Here comes Effortless, hits a very important rail, which makes Xron a little bit nervous. However, he controls the Mega, and that's really important. Uses the downtime to get the orb. He takes him out again. Xron back in the lead. Missing a rail though, he's going to get punished, but Effortless fresh off the spawn. I mean, what weapon's he going to tickle you with?
Yeah, there's not a lot for Effortless to work with, and these rails, it's just 1, 2, and 3.
Where did that gib come from? Am I crazy? That looked like
appearing.
Watch out
everywhere.
for flying arms! A new hazard! A new hazard. That was cool though.
So Xron's trying to stabilize. There's definitely lightning gun ammunition that he needs. There's some on the sort of mini elbow.
Xron not getting any damage, but giving his position away. Effortless in and out just before he even noticed, thankfully. Managed to get the rail. But here comes the SSG. Xron realizing it's probably not the right weapon for the job just yet. Not a very good position to be stuck in. Fishes for a rail shot that doesn't hit its mark. Looking for a second one, and at least he's able to make Effortless have to sweat a little bit. Not going to rest easy, even though a heavy's just been taken. Here comes the LG peppering out. Acid Spit forced to be used. But now it looks like Xron still a little bit antsy. Does not want to take a fight. Instead, he wants to value control! The orb comes out again! What a move there by Xron. And the fact that he got Mega just made it so much sweeter.
Double rockets from him, orb to boot, everything went in. Effortless, just as soon as he thought he had a chance, he was done for. Heavy is spawning at a great time for him. He doesn't lose out on too much more of the health. Looking for a rocket off the spawn. Effortless is going to slow play it a little bit and goes undetected for a second.
But now with a substantial lead, and we're not even halfway through the rail. The last rail, though, thankfully, for Effortless isn't going to hit its mark just yet. Effortless is in a bit of a very odd situation, right? This is the kind of play where it's, okay, I've got half of the map left. I've got 4 frags to get. And even before then, I need to kind of try and just slow down this pain train that is Xron right now. You know, when he's really feeling himself and he's hitting a lot of these shots, and he seems to be just taking every fight magically. Only one of his dire orbs has fumbled so far. The rest have been spot on. Speaking of which, goes in again and is going to get the job done, collecting the small health orb, so that acid makes no difference. But it will make a difference for Effortless, as now he dies with no ability ready to go, and it may as well have done nothing when he died previously.
I feel like he still has to kind of push, though, because there's no orb to worry about at the moment. If he has got the weapons to work with, as long as he has some entry damage, which he's had there, now he can afford to be very aggressive. He's got twice the stack that Xron has. Can he find a way to push in? There is a light armor, but heavy's up for Effortless if he wants it. He's taking his time getting there, and HMG ready to shoot. Effortless pushes out for a second. Both major items are there. Nice little rocket jump actually from Effortless. A creative use of weapons from Xron. Does actually end up punishing quite a lot. I mean, the stacks are similar after all of that.
Especially seeing as Xron's about to collect that light armor, which has put them almost identical. If you take away some of the health and add armor to Xron's difference, but Effortless is in a bit of an awkward position now because I really feel like he's been able to find no footing. There's no ground where it's like, right, now is my opportunity to go in, because Xron is keeping his defense back so well that when it feels like Effortless is going to try and press any kind of advantage, Xron has a means to escape. And he's always planning his escape near one of these main items, so he's able to stop the bleeding quite significantly. He's lacking in armor, though, which might be an opening for Effortless. He's going in full speed ahead, but so is Xron going in for another rocket! And that was almost Effortless's opportunity, but Xron doing so much damage, it scared him away. Looking for a rail angle! He gets hit by one, and now Xron is in bad shape.
Yeah, he's taken everything from this area. He needs to get out of here somehow, being undetected. There's a light, but he won't be able to get to it. Effortless manages to get the punish. He's looking to rocket jump to get himself over towards the Mega Health.
Acid spray just to deny the area. It's not about damage here, it's about making sure Xron is scared to step foot in it. And there is some element of control here for Effortless. At long last, I feel like it's been, you know, a map and 3/4 until Effortless actually had control.
Oh.
But the full attack from Xron. His orbs have been like, only one has failed so far.
I don't usually see this amount of effect. If it feels like we're going back to sort of 2018, 2017 with the orb, and yeah, Xron's getting some work done with it. There's the push in, and Xron is like, oh my god, this giant dinosaur is just parading around. There's still a chance for Effortless to make it back in this. He's got the stack that he's been looking for most of the game.
However, Xron, now with the frag lead and 2 minutes on the clock, can actually kind of shift gears a little bit. He can start playing this hyper defense, and he was so ready for the LG. The moment he heard the rocket go off, I feel like Xron just had that sixth sense. He knew what was coming.
And he was spot on with the aim too. Oh, there is the heavy armor that's been left alone. Shotgun's quite nasty, but look at the rocket execution. Xron was shaking his head earlier at his own aim, but he shouldn't be now. He's hitting everything that he needs to. 12-6 is a very solid scoreline.
Going full speed, more damage coming in, but Xron very weak. That said, only a minute and a half left on the clock, so will that even matter? Oh my word, I fear, Zoot, that we're reaching that point where maybe nothing can be done. Effortless, I mean, he's given his best go, but this is one of the higher forms of Xron that we've seen. We've said that if Xron's playing like we know he can, then maybe this would have been difficult. Looks like that's kind of exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, Xron's just got that very, very solid level. He's got a good amount of consistency and reliability with where he stands in it. Who knows what's going to happen later down the line. I believe he's going to be going versus the winner of Tox and Cypher later on today, so that's something to watch out for. But as it stands, we've got a minute left in this. With Effortless starting to make a couple of kills, there's a lot to do in the amount of time left, so I'm not willing to call the possibilities yet.
And by no means is Xron going to make it easy. Looks like he kind of has the advantage of the pillar. And Sorlag just a little bit too chunky.
Oh, there we go.
SSG, 4 frags in 30 seconds, though. Is that mathematically possible?
I mean, mathematically, but also violently improbable.
Well, we'll see.
I've enjoyed...
Full speed ahead. Effortless. Go. Oh, never mind.
I have enjoyed Effortless's movement over the maps. I think he's been fun to watch. He's had a very positive stage 1 of the Quake Pro League. But here at Lucca Comic and Games, it is going to be ending here, as that is Xron taking it 2-0 and advancing to the round of 12.
Well played, by all accounts. I mean, Effortless, I think he was already going to be in for a bit of a tough one. And with how Xron has been playing today, I mean, if he keeps that form up later today, then who knows? Maybe he can actually pull off a few more results that maybe even he wouldn't expect this weekend.
Yeah, completely. I mean, whatever game that he has next is going to be really fascinating to watch. That we'll have to to talk about that a little later on, though, because we've got so much more to go through with, and we've also got these highlights. Had a lot of kills this game, actually. Effortless gave himself some chances. There were some good pushes, but maybe he didn't respect the orb enough, and the fact that Xron was getting so much success from that.
And I think that, in turn, might actually be one of the great strengths that Ranger as a champion brings to the game, is the moment you start having to show ultimate respect to the orb, there's a lot of effective range that you then have to be very, very nervous in, which on a map like Awoken is like the whole map. You know, at any moment, if Ranger can just teleport to your location, deal massive damage, then how do you respect the orb when you kind of need to be at all the ranges you're standing at? And if you don't, you're just going to give up control, and then he'll use the orb to kill you later. But I got to say, shout-outs to Effortless. I mean, I know he's going to be disappointed with losing first round in this round here. However, for him and some of the other American players in the Americas portion of the Pro League, I feel like for them it was about trying to stay that mid-level, avoiding relegation territory, and it's only up from there. And I feel like Effortless is one of those players that, going into stage number 2, it's just an opportunity for him to grow once more, come back in the next LAN, and we'll just see how he fares.
Yeah, completely. And of course, we will be seeing him in a couple of weeks when we get back over to stage 2 weeklies that will be taking place. But at the moment, it's all about making it to that next level here on LAN in Lucca. We had some nasty super shotgun plays as well, actually, from Xron during that. I thought we saw so much play from Nails, from super shotgun, and that's something that Xron's always been about. It's chaining together those kills with a huge, diverse array of different weapons, not just the trifecta.
And that's just combat skill. And combat skill has grown the more you play the game. And Quake Champions is a game that Xron has much fun in. And, you know, I know that sounds like maybe even a vague sentence, but genuinely, like, every time a game mode comes out, Xron was there competing at the highest level. Any community tournaments, he's there competing at the highest level. This guy just lives and breathes Quake, and he loves every second of it. And that is reflected so heavily in competitive play. And I think that those little skills that you pick up, like weapon combinations, like the little champion tricks, sitting in a custom map and just messing around with these random totem locations with Galena or whatever it might be. Xron's the kind of player that finds all that stuff.
He breaks it all down, doesn't he, to the exoskeleton. Guys, we've got some brackets as well that we can take a look at so we can see how our adventure today continues. Look at what we got next.
Oh, I'm so excited for the next match. Cypher versus Toxic.
I hope somebody is wanting a seat for me in the audience. They're probably not. Let's face it. But I'm going to find one. I'm going to kick someone out of it if they're in one that I can't get to. And I'm going to make sure I am watching the crap out of that because that is going to be unbelievable.